From the moment I open up my eyes, there's one thing that stays on my mind. The Love Her Show with the duo. You gotta love her, praise her, treat her right. Let your life reflect all the beauty that's inside of you. You gotta love yourself, let the best of you shine through.
Welcome to the Love Her Show with the duo.
Yes, it's so nice to be back with you all. Hope you had a wonderful holiday.
Yes, happy Resurrection weekend.
Yes.
It was a great weekend.
It was a wonderful weekend,
well,
indeed.
Welcome back to the Love Her Show with the duo, where we talk about love, life, business, and bliss.
Yes, and for those of you who are joining us for the very first time, a warm welcome to you.
Woohoo.
We are life and relationship coaches. We're certified matchmakers, authors of the book Relationship Do-Overs.
And we are bloggers for Essence.com, the love and relationship section.
We are.
And keynote speakers.
National speakers. So we love to do workshops and all those things. So for those of you, again, who don't know, I'm Kelly Fisher.
I'm Tana Gilmore.
And together, we're the Matchmaking Duo. Woohoo! Yes, love being matchmakers, too. So that is the highlight. We get to go on, like, first dates every week.
Oh, those butterflies and goosebumps. Oh, they're so fun.
And then getting that feedback, like, I like him, or, you know, or he's like, I don't know. We had great conversation.
It was so great.
And just seeing relationships go from, you know, where a lot of times people didn't even know how to date, had forgotten at some point how to date.
Because they do.
It's easy to do. I mean, you throw yourself into work, or maybe had a lot of failed relationships and then just put it on the back burner. And before you know it, you are probably, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in without ever meeting anyone interesting.
Yeah, we hear that a lot. I mean, you would be surprised at how many people actually come to us and they have not had a date in, I don't know, a year,
very long time.
2, 12. We've even heard, 12, long time. And so here we come to the rescue. But today is episode 9.
Yes.
And we are talking, we're going to talk about how do you know that when you're ready for a relationship.
Wait a minute, actually, is this episode 10?
Oh, it is episode 10.
Oh, wow. We're moving on.
It is episode 10.
We are moving. This train is moving,
moving. 10 weeks.
10 weeks. I mean, when we put our mind to it, we come up with some stuff. We need some of you to say, you know what, ladies, you don't need to be doing that. But
well, hey, we do it.
Yeah,
neither
of us.
About it. It's so crazy because we'll have this bright idea over the weekend or just out of the blue and be like, you know what, let's try that.
Let's try that.
Let's do it.
Why not? So I guess it's good to have a circle around you that's like, yeah, you can do it, but we don't really have too many people around us that like, maybe you shouldn't. We've had those blunders too sometimes, and we have a bright idea.
Got rid of those people. I know. We got rid of those people. So, we have a really strong support group around us. But we are known for coming up with something and be like, you know what?
Idea.
Let's
and Tana's crazy enough to do it, as I am. So I'm like, I think that's a great idea. Let's do it.
I may bring it up, but she's like, okay, let's do it.
We're blessed to have found each other. So for all of you, it'll be a good idea to find someone who's as crazy as you.
Yep.
So, and wait a minute. If anyone's asking or has a question, yes. The cowbell is here. It is here.
Oh my goodness, let me tell y'all. So people stop us on the street or send us notes and be like, I love that cowbell. And so Kelly's the one that rings the cowbell. However,
I don't know about that.
However, I may recommend that she ring it a time or two. Yeah. But I despise the cowbell in the beginning. But everybody's like, oh, we love the cowbell.
I know. The cowbell is more popular than we are sometimes. I think, just last week they were like, I love the cowbell. So, but we will reserve it for when, something needs to have a little extra oomph.
Yeah. So, we would drop little love nuggets here and there just so you can capture them. So,
I know.
There's
so,
the bell.
Hope you all had a good week. Anyway, our topic for today, we were talking this morning. We were like, so what are some of the main questions that come to us on a regular basis? So I think the one is that, how do I know that, now that I'm back out there, how do I know that I'm ready for a relationship? You know, it's been a while.
And so oftentimes the main question is, how many times have we gotten into relationships prematurely?
Oh,
so, that is like the worst. And then you find yourself in something that you have no business being
Absolutely
in.
no business.
Going down the wrong road fast.
I got to ring the bell for that because that is an awful pattern.
It is. And so we were like, you know what? Let's think about that. And let's really give some tips on how to help people know when they're ready for a relationship, because we don't want, we don't want to, we don't want you to go down the path that we've gone through many times. And so we want you to be ready and be prepared to welcome someone and integrate them into your life.
Yeah. And I think we discussed that a little bit last week too, where, sometimes it's just out of loneliness that you just go down the wrong path and you just pick someone just because, you're lonely or just want to have a good conversation or something. But as we discussed last week, I think we've all been down that road. But if you have been down that road, you realize it comes to a very dead end.
A screeching halt.
Yes, after whether it's a couple months or a couple years.
Yes, and you'd be like, what am I? And you're starting to look at them like, what am I doing here? What am I doing with you?
You knew on the first call, though, you had no business.
Yeah, I knew plenty of times.
I mean, no
been
business.
With some bozos over the years.
Me too.
There were some bozos over the years, but it's interesting because you do know
the first conversation
when you start talking to them that you have no business talking to them, and then a week goes by and then they start smiling at you and start giving you compliments, and it goes
and then someone
fast.
Really is interested in knowing how your day is and all that,
and then
that
feels kind of good.
It does feel good, but really you have nothing in common.
You don't have anything in common. I mean, you're not aligned spiritually. Your goals aren't aligned. I mean, there's so many different things and so many different differences that you're going nowhere fast. You're not rowing the same way.
No, but they might look good on your arm.
No, they do.
So
a lot of times that's what's the problem. That's the problem.
The problem.
You like looking at them.
Yeah, you like looking at them. You like taking them out. I mean, if you have to, because it's like a good showing. But you, at the end of the day, you realize you're one of like 15.
And sometimes they look good on your arm, and you're looking at their arms and you're looking at those shoulders, but you can't take them anywhere.
No, you can. Oh, that's true.
You can't take them anywhere.
Yes,
so,
that's for the dark, but not in the sunlight.
You cannot.
We digress.
Like, don't open up your mouth.
Ooh, right. And do not open the blinds. And you all know we're telling the truth.
Woo, y'all know it. You all know it.
Oh, gosh.
Admit it. You know it. So everybody's had at least one. At least one. I probably had about 4.
Wow. But we've lived and learned. We have lived and learned, and we've helped a lot of clients on this, too. So, I mean, when you talk about being ready for a committed relationship, I think we even wrote a piece on Essence about this, and even in our book.
Yes.
So that's how much it comes up. So I think one of the things that we talk about, so how you know that you're ready to take the plunge and really move this relationship forward. So, I mean, one thing would be that you're ready to share your time and your space.
Yeah.
A lot of our clients that come to us are really busy. They're very, professional. They're on many boards and all kind of stuff, and they're not very flexible.
They're not.
I mean, we developed a whole flexibility wheel in our coaching to say, what things can you give? Where can you move? Where can you be, a little flexible in your time and your space?
Yes, and where do you fall on this flexibility wheel? And some of them, it is way
left.
Kind of
tight.
It is way left. I'm like, listen, you're not ready to integrate someone into your life. So what can we take off your calendar in order to make this happen? Because, again, as we said a million times, he's not competing with your calendar.
No, he's not.
He's not going to.
And he wants some attention when you think about it. Now, on the flip side, I mean, for our guys who do listen, if you only knew, these really busy, successful women, they're only doing this because they don't have anything else to fill their time. So we understand that. We understand that. So they're like, the minute I meet somebody interesting, all this stuff will go away.
It'll go away. And they're happy to get rid of it. But, they at least want to know that you're interested in them and you're showing them, I guess, some level of attention. So, so that's the only reason why they do it. Many tell us that. I think another tip would be, do you consider his likes and dislikes? So if you are having him over to your home for a date night or to watch a movie or something, think about some of the things that you have listened to during conversation that he likes. What's his favorite juice or his favorite snack or things like that? If he likes Doritos and you have Doritos at your house waiting for him, or, you have Snapple, at the house waiting for him, or whatever that may be, his favorite beverage, you're listening to him and you are being considerate of the things that he likes, and you have them readily available for him when he comes over.
Right.
I mean, that's considerate.
And even in conversation. So, I mean, we need to start from scratch and just have you interested in the things that he likes or or dislikes.
That means listen.
Yeah, if you hear that all of a sudden that he doesn't like texting all the time, or if he doesn't like, for you to come in late, and which I'm Ooh, Lord help me with the time.
I was going to say, is that bell for you?
Ooh, that bell. I had to ring that because sometimes I talk to myself, but I am usually flying in on the seat of my pants for meetings and stuff, but I'm there on time. But I mean, I know that you're really supposed to 10 minutes early, or 30 minutes early, you're on time.
Yeah, just being considerate is all.
But yeah, I think, caring about his likes and dislikes and then just making a note of it and really going that extra mile to make a difference. Let's see. So the next thing would be being comfortable, being vulnerable and transparent. So that word, I mean, it just seems to get under a lot of our clients' skin. So vulnerable and transparent, even when you hear it, it's like gets you all,
it's all tense
right.
and stuff like that.
It gets everything in a bunch.
I don't know him like that to be trying to share all my deep, dark secrets with him. But
and I don't know that we want your deep, dark secrets, but I think, you probably should have shared a few if you're moving forward
if you're thinking
to
you want a relationship,
Yeah.
but you want to give them drips of the vulnerability.
Yeah, so I mean, just knowing that you can be transparent, because that's really, and we say that all the time, that's really what builds that emotional connection. So a lot of times people will ask us, well, why is it that I can't move to, a more meaningful relationship or that emotional connection? And a lot of times it's because you haven't shared anything past the surface.
Right. And he doesn't know who you are.
I mean, what distinguishes you from the next person?
Yeah.
If there's just everything, I like to travel. Oh, I like to sing in the choir.
Yeah, but he doesn't know where you like to travel, the things that you like to do. I mean, how would he know that, you love horseback riding or hiking if you don't share those things? I mean, and that's very surface, things and hobbies. But I mean, we're talking about letting him know what makes you upset.
Yeah.
Letting him know things like that. So those are the drips of vulnerability that we're talking about. Things that make you happy, things that make you upset. Even if you can share something that's happened in the past that, just don't sit well with you, that maybe triggers you. So, I mean, things like that we want you to share so he can know how to help you. Because again, a man is a natural fixer. We say it all the time. And he wants to be able to fix it. And he wants to be able to help. But how would he ever know if you don't share?
That's true. So many times we'll say, well, he should just know.
Yeah, he does.
But when you think of it, no, he doesn't. Just like you don't know. I mean, the relationship that you're in now could be totally different than the last relationship and vice versa. So he doesn't know unless you really teach him, how to love you and how to respond to you and what he's doing right and what he's not doing right. And that really helps to bond, to make that emotional bond.
So another thing is that you can trust him to make decisions on your behalf. I mean, do you trust this man enough to be able to give him a situation and allow him to be the man and take the lead and be able to fix it without you butting in?
Ooh.
Ring the bell.
Nope.
Ring the bell. Without you butting in. Oftentimes, we'll present a situation and then we expect him to do something about it, but we won't even give him an opportunity or a time to do something about it.
That's so true. And I have to say, even from a personal standpoint, so, I mean, Tana and I are both really busy, so we get it. But, I mean, so many times you're used to just doing things on your own. You're used to getting things done, especially that A personality, just like, I'm going to get the landscaping done. I'm going to get, this done. I'm going to get that done. And you really have to make a conscious decision to say, you know what, I do these things, but I would love to have someone's help with it.
If you think about it, we all can do it ourselves. We can. Let's just be honest.
Of
we
course.
Can. But it's so nice to be able to have someone to do it for you. Like, I hate the gas station. I hate it. And so, yes, I can pump my own gas, but, I tell my husband, I don't like to do it. So, and he does it for me. So I don't have to do that, which I'm so grateful for and I'm so appreciative. But, I had to arrive there because, oftentimes even Kelly would tell me, why are you doing that stuff when you don't even like doing it? Why are you doing it? You have a husband that can do it for you.
Right.
And let him do it. That's what he's there for.
Yeah, I know he wants to do it. Yeah, that's a different thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wants to do it. Why won't you let him do it? So again, it's self-reflect. I had to think about it and say, well, why didn't I ask him to do it?
Right. You have to give them the opportunity to do something, and then we can't complain. We don't. And then we complain that we're like, oh my goodness, he's not helping with anything. He's just sitting there. But did you ask?
No,
because a lot of times they're like, well, I thought you got it.
No, I
thought you had it. She seems like she has it all together, which you do. But definitely trust him to make decisions on your behalf. Give him something small. Oh, wait a minute, we need a point with that. Doesn't exactly mean that it's not going to be done the way you want it to be done.
And it might not. It may not be. Sometimes it's not. the way that you want it to be, and you have to keep your lips tight.
Does it have to be done the way you want it to be done, or can you just get it done?
But you know how we are. We want it because we want it done a certain way, but
we don't
that's
have
the problem.
same brain.
We do not. They think differently than we do.
Yeah.
And so, he may go around the bend a different way to get it done.
Go around the bend and come back. Hey, as long as it gets done,
we shouldn't care, ladies.
Yes, we really
should not care as long as it gets done.
And these are things that we have learned along the way. So it's not like looking down on you or anything, but I'm telling you, we have learned over the years that it might not be done the way you want it to be done. However, he's getting it done, so you get a check. He gets a star.
He gets a star.
Yes. Like
he's in our star system.
What color star do you want?
Oh, I want a gold star.
I want a sparkling star. Like we used to have back in kindergarten.
I want a gold one.
That star on your forehead.
So funny because you'll do that to me all the time. You're like, oh, you asked him to do it? Yep, you get a star, Tana. What color star do you want? I want a platinum star.
That goes with friendship too, because Tana likes to run races where she gets medals. So I know that she likes. I'm like, what kind of star do you want? She has the nerve to sit there and be like, I think I want a fuchsia star. Like we have.
I'm only motivated by like medals and things like that. I need a reward system.
She has the nerve to answer it.
I need a reward system.
Yes, I like stars too. Let me see. So the next thing would be that you all have discussed the future together. So, a lot of times men really won't say anything. If they're not, considering a future with you, they're not even talking about that. But if you have already had those conversations, I mean, really, he's trying to think of, how can this all come together? Just like you're thinking of that too. So you want to make sure that, you've talked about things like, would I want to have children or would I not want to have children, or, merging families and finances and just seeing how things would go if you moved it forward.
And you want to have those futuristic conversations as we talk about all the time. I mean, even talking about, faith, like what does that look like? Are you someone that wants your man to go to church with you every Sunday?
Right.
Or, you're going to be okay leaving him behind in bed every Sunday? We have those types of conversations.
I mean, you really have to go in.
You do. You have to be specific because you don't want to be disappointed.
No, you don't. You sure don't.
You do not want to be disappointed. And then you think it's okay in the beginning.
Right.
And then a year into it, you're frowning and mad going to church alone. So,
well, I mean, one thing we always say is whoever's in front of you today,
that's who it is.
That's who it is.
Yes.
So we don't want you to make the mistake that we both have made at one point or another, thinking that down the line maybe this will change.
They have so much potential.
Oh,
you don't marry potential.
You do not.
We wrote a blog about that on Essence. Marrying potential.
No. So whoever it is in front of you today doesn't mean that he can't become something.
That's a bonus
fantastic,
if he does.
Which,
exactly.
But
which they may. They may. And that's a bonus.
With your help.
That's a bonus.
But I mean, the whole dreamer. Oh my goodness, the whole dreamer thing where they have these dreams and you don't see any evidence that they're going in that direction or that's ever going to happen. Whoever is in front of you today is who it is.
That's who it is. So if you're comfortable with who he is today, standing in front of you, then you're fine.
Yeah.
And so whoever he or she may become, again, that's a bonus. It's a bonus.
It is. Yeah.
So if you can say that, you're doing something.
Yeah. So make sure you've discussed your future and not just today.
And you know that you're ready for a relationship when you start integrating him into your family and friends. So your family knows who he is. Your friends know who he is. He's not a secret.
Right. And vice versa.
Yes.
I mean, they need to have
They need to know you too. They need to see your
family
face
and friends
several times.
Yes.
And they need to know you. And they need to know that you are the one. I mean, you're the only one that he brings around for the holidays. You're the only one. And we're talking about February 14th, not the 13th.
Not the 13th. Ooh, that's a whole different conversation.
We're talking about that fourth Thursday of November.
Right. Or Christmas Eve.
Exactly.
New Year's.
Those are the holidays we're talking
New
about.
Year's
ladies.
Eve. That's not a good sign.
No. We're talking about those holidays. So when they know who you are, when you're integrating each other into your families, and then again, you're they know who you are. You're integrating them. And that's who we say that's a good sign that you're ready for a relationship. You're ready to move forward in that relationship because you're at that point you're a part of the crew. You're part of the team. The wives know who you are. Now when the wives know who you are,
that's so true.
That's saying something.
Yeah, and I mean you really need to know how the family responds to you because I mean sometimes family can, as we all know, they can get in there and tear it apart,
mess it up.
And even if you're there there for a Christmas Day or a New Year's Day celebration and, they have something negative to say, is he sticking up for you? And vice versa. Are you sticking up and saying, oh, no, we don't talk about each other like that? Or, is he letting you be disrespected? Those types of things. So it's so important to meet family and friends early just to see how that whole dynamic plays out.
Definitely.
Do the men in the relationship value wives and relationships?
We talked about that too in our book.
You need to know that.
Yes. Because here's the thing. Oftentimes, if it's been, and let's face it, so we're going to whisper here.
Oh, gosh. Let's lean in.
Let's lean in and let's whisper. So we all have those uncles in our family that brings other women around a family gathering.
Talking out of the side of our mouth.
Exactly.
Right now.
Like, who is this one? Who is this one?
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
Let's face it. We all have them.
Do.
We all have them in our family.
We do.
And you be like, you know what? And sometimes we allow it as family members. And we allow this. Now, why are we doing that? When you know he has a wife. You already know he has a wife.
That's so true. He has a wife.
This man has a wife. Why is he bringing anybody else to this family function, to these cookouts?
Yeah. I mean, it could be more than one. So it could be a one-off. And at that point, he's grown. There's really nothing you can do. But if you see a pattern in that family, that might be something you need to see. And just see if that the person that you're dating really despises it. Or if they just kind of laugh along with it. Or
it's
what.
Not
because
funny.
Guess what? If he's laughing along with it, you're next.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's keep it real. It's you're next. You are. And so if it's acceptable in that family, then we have a problem.
Right.
We have a problem.
You do have a problem.
Yeah.
That's so true. So some other things that, would let you know that you're ready for a serious relationship. I would say you're considering both your goals and your futures. So, we all have goals and dreams, and sometimes it can be a little scary to share them in a relationship because you don't know, like, what if you have this big corporate job, but you really always wanted to be a chef,
Yes.
And that's something that you're planning on pursuing. So that's not something that you want to hold, till after you get into this relationship. If you have a 3-year plan to get out of what you're doing now and do something totally different, that needs to be shared, and vice versa. You need to ask him too, what are some of the goals and what's your plan? Because there might be a plan coming up there that's going to do a whole monkey wrench.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's interesting because we hear that all the time. Because, our clients sometimes have all these things in their mind and they don't feel like it's the right time or that they need to share it with him just yet. But actually they do.
They do because, you might even be afraid to share, those types of things. But, I know one time a couple times we've had clients who are extremely successful doing all types of things, making gobs of money. But really their goal is that they want to be a stay-at-home mom.
Ooh.
Okay. So
go
just know from
hundreds of $1,000s a year,
that kind of income,
to be a
stay-at-home mom. That's something that you want to share because he needs to plan and say, okay, well, let me see how I can do that. Maybe he can go on a partial work schedule, or maybe he has no plan at all for you to be a stay-at-home mom. So that's a big deal.
That wasn't his goal, or doesn't align.
He's hoping that you'll continue to be this power couple,
exactly, and you all can build this wealth together. When that's not important to you. So again, you sharing these things early on versus later is very important,
right?
Because you're giving him an opportunity to say, does this work for me or not,
right? And sometimes he's more attracted to the fact that you're running around, handling things, closing deals. Right. He's attracted to that. So by the time you're home, enclosed and Barney and doing all types of things, that's not attractive to some people. Some people it is.
Because if you think about it, we've had women come to us and say, help me get my sexy back. I am stay at home, and I've converted into sweats and headbands.
Right, and please, I've been there. I was a stay-at-home mom. Kudos and hats off to the
ones that can do
it, because that is a lot of
it's hard
work.
That's the hardest job I've ever had.
It's rough.
It's hard.
Even if you have the money, it's just so much stuff to be done. Unless you have a whole horde of people that can help you, it's
hard.
A lot.
It is hard.
And to keep the sexy too.
Yeah, you want to keep the sexy.
You want to keep the sexy.
Yeah, that'll be on another podcast.
Maybe that'll be the next one. What we've learned.
I'm bringing sexy back. Yeah. Y'all know I'm professional karaoke.
Yeah, she loves karaoke.
Yeah, and also, does his words and mirror his actions, and you love it? So does he, mean what he says and says what he mean? Basically, if he says he's going to be there at a certain time and he shows up exactly when he says he's going to do it, if he commits to, getting your oil changed and doing those things, and he actually shows up to do it,
right.
This is a man that you can count on. This is a man that you want in your future.
That's true. I mean, on the flip side, if he's not consistent with what he's saying, what he's saying that he's going to do and what he does, then it's not ready to move forward.
No, it's not.
Because
we have a problem here.
We do have a problem. It could be that, he has someone else on the agenda. It could be that he's just not that into you.
That's right.
Because it's not going to just change overnight just because you have this, exclusivity conversation that all of a sudden, he's going to jump in and kick in and be consistent.
It doesn't work like that,
no.
people. It doesn't at all.
It does not.
Yeah. But again, and you love it. But let's reward them for when they do show up. Here's what we do hear from men is that oftentimes when they do, show up like they're supposed to, that they don't get rewarded for. They don't.
A lot of times we forget to say thank you because it's like, he's supposed to do that.
No.
It takes effort.
It does. It takes effort. And, you might think that he's supposed to do it, but he doesn't have to do it.
No.
And so, we want to reward our men for doing the right thing and showing up when they say they're going to.
Right.
Showing up for us. So that's important. So let's reward them for even the small things. It goes a long way.
I know. I could think about even, in my last major relationship. So I was never like this big cook. I am now. But I know when I was transitioning from like my early 20s, I used to go out to eat, have takeout a couple times a week. I was living that real bachelorette life, right? So in this relationship, I was like, okay, I'm going to make like 4-course meals. I'm going to do all this. And, some women, that comes natural to them.
Yes.
But to me, it was a lot of effort. So, in that instance, I would need someone to say, wow, I saw that you did this, this, and this. It took me hours to get
to prepare.
to get these things done. Where some people, now I can whip it up like nothing. Yeah. But at the time when I was just learning, you want someone to say thank you. Just like we want to hear it, they want to hear it too. Because it doesn't automatically come naturally for men either.
Even just to say, I see you.
Yeah.
I see. We want to be seen. So both parties.
Sweating and carrying on at the oven and all that. That was not me.
We want to be seen. We want to be thanked. We want to be appreciated.
Everyone does. Seen. Everyone wants to thank you. But I think definitely with men, a thank you goes a long way.
And spend a few minutes on it. Dote on them a little bit. They don't get that enough.
That's true.
So they don't.
We hear that so often. Yeah. They have such a rough... Men of,
they have a rough way to go.
All ethnicities. They do have a hard way to go. But definitely men of color, I would say.
Yes, definitely. So let's give our men of color some love.
Yes, we will.
We love you.
And I would think, okay, so the last thing to know that you're ready for a relationship is, and we say this, but we can't say it enough, is that old relationships don't have a hold on you.
Ooh, they do not. They do not.
And so it could be in a lot of different ways. It could be that, you still are harboring old feelings or, bad feelings or emotions from a past relationship. It could be that you're still kind of hoping or doting on the one that got away.
How many times have y'all thought about that one? The one that got away. That's something.
We might need to give that a moment.
Yes.
So if you have someone on your mind that you still, know that if he got out of a relationship tomorrow, you would be running over there. You would be ill.
Sick. You'd be sick, like stomach bent over, cramps.
Right.
Like, OMG, he just moved on.
Yes. I know.
That's awful.
So, if there's someone still in your life that you really realize that, well, if things change tomorrow, I'm running over there. Because things do change.
They change. We've seen things change in a day.
Yes.
We have.
We have.
So give them the opportunity.
Make sure that you're not harboring old feelings for old relationships. So, of course, as we always say, relationships that have gone wrong, make sure that you have that clearance to wish them well. But if there's still a relationship that's out there, that's still that one, that's that one burning
that you keep
fire
thinking about
in the pit of your stomach that you know that you want to be with, but it's just not the right time, you might want to consider that.
And it might warrant a conversation.
A quick conversation, a closure, something.
Anything. So even just get yourselves together, ladies and gentlemen. Get yourselves together and have the conversation and just talk about what if. You know? and just, again, give them some things about them that you enjoyed about the relationship, and just have a conversation and see where it goes.
Yeah, and you might even need to hear, there's no way on this green earth that we'll never be back together. Yeah. And that gives you the closure that you need.
Hopefully it will. Yes. I mean, there's no way. I've moved on. I'm in love. And
you have to listen, too. I mean, they'll tell you what you want to hear. I mean, what you want to know.
Yes, if they say it, then they mean it. So take it for face value, because that's what it is.
That's so true. But I mean, if they say, oh, well, maybe there's a chance, or if you uncover something that you didn't know before, it might be that you want to just hold off on this new relationship. Of course, you don't want to let the new one get away, but like Tana said, it might be worth a conversation.
Yes. So hopefully these tips have helped you guys, and that, if you can just listen to this and you know what, rewind it, listen to it again, and just maybe even take some notes to just think about, am I ready? And ask yourself, am I ready to do any of these things? Right. Are any of these things in my current relationship now? Then yes, I am ready for a relationship, and I am ready to move this relationship forward.
Yeah, and if there's some that you realize that, oh wow, I didn't realize that I'm not willing to adjust my schedule, like in any shape, form, or fashion. Nothing. I have everything the way that it is, and I'm not trying to move it.
No.
So, I mean, maybe that needs some attention.
Yes.
So that's something you can work on. I forgot, what chapter is that in our book?
So this is in our book, Relationship Do-Overs. It's in chapter 9 on page 125.
Yes. We talked about it in more detail, but we thought we would bring it up again today, and just a quick overview from our heart to yours, because it comes up so often.
It does. It comes up so often. So again, that's Relationship Do-Overs, and that's page 125, chapter 9. So enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, and we'll see you next Tuesday. For those of you who want to follow us, please follow us on social media, The Matchmaking Duo, on Facebook, Instagram. I know it's at Matchmaking Duo on Twitter.
Yes, it is. And our website, thematchmakingduo.com.
Yeah, send us a line. We like to hear from you guys. We do try to go on Periscope sometimes to have some interaction, but we want to hear from you. Give us a email, a shout out. Let us know how we're doing.
Tweet us.
And subscribe.
Yay, thank you.
Goodbye. Have a good night.
See you next week.
Bye.
Then you discover just how to love her, to embrace the love inside of you, 'cause there will only be one you. Be your best lover, then you discover just how to love her, to unleash the power